The cast of The Sopranos once captivated audiences with their unforgettable performances, but their lives off-screen have taken some unexpected, and sometimes tragic, turns. From life-altering accidents to unforeseen struggles, many have faced obstacles that dramatically reshaped their futures. Some have persevered, overcoming adversity, while others continue to battle the consequences of fate. In 2025, where are they now? Who managed to rebuild their lives, and who remains entangled in misfortune? Join us as we delve into the real-life twists and turns of the Sopranos cast, stories that rival the drama of the show itself. James Gandolfini, who portrayed Tony Soprano, was 37 years old when he embodied the role of the tormented mob boss, a man who ruled New Jersey's underworld while unraveling inside from panic attacks and guilt. Gandolfini's searing, nuanced performance redefined television anti-heroes and won him widespread acclaim. Off-screen, however, his life mirrored the turmoil of his character. He married Marcy Wodarski in 1999, with whom he had a son, Michael, but the marriage collapsed in 2002 amid tension and alleged substance abuse. He remarried in 2008 to Deborah Lynn, and they had a daughter, Liliana Ruth, but happiness remained elusive. Gandolfini battled depression, alcohol dependency, and chronic loneliness. Despite career success, he often withdrew from public life, plagued by a sense of inadequacy. 5 personal tragedies marked his path: a painful divorce, estranged friendships, the early death of a close sister, multiple stints in rehab, and overwhelming fame he never felt he deserved. He died suddenly of a heart attack in Rome on June 19, 2013, at just 51, while on vacation with his son. His death shocked the world. Gandolfini's estate, estimated at $70 million, was left primarily to his children, though legal battles ensued over its distribution. Michael Imperioli, who played the volatile Christopher Moltisanti, was 33 when he began portraying Tony's ambitious but self-destructive protégé, a man torn between his artistic dreams and his loyalty to the mob. Imperioli's performance was layered with raw emotion, earning him an Emmy and critical respect. Yet life after The Sopranos was far from smooth. He married Victoria Klabowski in the mid-1990s, and the couple had 3 children, Vadim, David, and a daughter whose name remains private. Despite appearances, the marriage endured long separations and deep-rooted tension due to Michael's sporadic career downturns and spiritual crises. He struggled with identity, creatively and personally, often retreating into Eastern mysticism and isolating himself from Hollywood. 5 tragedies left indelible scars: losing several close friends to addiction, a near-fatal car accident, a lawsuit over a failed film, his son's brief incarceration, and the emotional fallout of The Sopranos' fame. Though now 59, Imperioli remains active in acting and writing but often speaks of regret and lost time. His estate is estimated at $6 million, and he lives modestly in New York, focused on meditation and art, far from the chaos of his youth. Robert Eiler, who portrayed A.J. Soprano, was only 14 when he stepped into the role of Tony's deeply troubled son, a boy suffocated by his father's legacy and crippled by apathy and despair. The role mirrored Eiler's real-life trajectory in uncanny ways. After The Sopranos, he fell into legal trouble, including a 2001 arrest for robbery and marijuana possession. Fame became a burden, and he soon vanished from acting altogether. His romantic life has been equally uncertain. Never married, Eiler has admitted to long-term struggles with addiction, gambling, and depression, leading to the breakdown of several relationships. He has no children and once confessed to fearing the idea of family due to his own unstable upbringing. 5 major tragedies haunt his path: legal troubles that derailed his reputation, estrangement from friends, a suicide attempt in his 20s, chronic anxiety that left him reclusive, and financial instability following the show's end. Now 40, Eiler co-hosts a podcast but remains largely hidden from public view. His net worth is estimated at just $500,000, and he lives quietly in Las Vegas, focused on sobriety and rebuilding what fame once tore apart. Jamie Lynn Sigler, who portrayed Meadow Soprano, was 18 when she debuted as Tony's bright, principled daughter, torn between love for her father and disdain for his criminal world. Sigler delivered a performance of youthful defiance mixed with emotional depth. Behind the scenes, however, she faced immense pain. Diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at 20, she kept her illness secret for nearly a decade. Her first marriage to manager A.J. Descala ended bitterly in 2006, with no children and lingering resentment. She later married baseball player Cutter Dykstra, and they had 2 sons, Bo and Jack, but struggled with her illness and the emotional toll it took on their family life. Her post-Sopranos career faltered, with failed pilots and typecasting limiting her growth. 5 tragedies defined her journey: battling MS silently, a miscarriage, the end of her first marriage, her father's death, and the mental health crisis of a close friend she couldn't save. Now 44, she remains active in television and podcasting, advocating for disability awareness. Her estate is estimated at $3 million. Despite her strength, she often speaks of a yearning for the stability she portrayed on screen but never truly found in real life. Dominic Chianese, who portrayed the manipulative and aging Corrado, Jr., soprano in The Sopranos, was 68 when the series began in 1999. His portrayal of the paranoid, power-hungry uncle provided one of the show's most tragic portraits of fading relevance and crumbling authority. Despite his commanding performance, Chianese's life after the series was marked by emotional solitude. Though he was briefly married in the 1960s, the union ended in quiet heartbreak, and he never remarried. He had 3 children, Dominic Jr., John, and Marguerite, but struggled with maintaining close ties, admitting in interviews to years of emotional distance. After the series, his acting roles dwindled, and he turned to music and volunteering, but he often battled depression and the pain of being typecast. Chianese's later years were marked by declining health, loneliness, and regret over missed family moments. He passed away in 2024 at the age of 93 due to complications from pneumonia. His estate, valued at approximately $1.5 million, was left to a charitable trust supporting arts education, a final gesture from a man who found his true peace only in performance. Steve Scarippa, who brought unexpected tenderness to Bobby Baccalieri, debuted on The Sopranos at age 42 in 2000. Known for his loyalty, grief, and understated sadness, Bobby was one of the show's most human mobsters. Scarippa's post-Sopranos years brought scattered success. He published books and held small roles, but never recaptured the emotional resonance he once had. He married Laura Bayema in the late 1990s, but their relationship gradually eroded under the weight of career frustration and long separations. They divorced in 2012, and Scarippa became estranged from one of his 2 daughters, Emma and Sophie. Behind the scenes, he battled weight issues, anxiety, and bouts of alcoholism, quietly entering rehab in 2016. Financial struggles followed, with failed investments and dwindling royalty checks. Although he kept a public smile, friends reported long periods of reclusiveness and regret. As of 2025, Scarippa is 67, living quietly in Nevada with an estimated estate of $1.2 million, mostly from his early acting years and book deals that never became bestsellers. Dan Grimaldi, who played the subdued and calculating Patsy Parisi, was 54 when he joined The Sopranos in 2000. A character always in the background but never out of the game, Patsy mirrored Grimaldi's own quiet presence in Hollywood. Off-screen, Grimaldi lived a double life, juggling acting with a career as a mathematics professor, but the demands fractured his home life. He was married to childhood sweetheart Angela, with whom he had twin sons, Anthony and Peter. Sadly, one son died in a motorcycle accident in 2009, a tragedy that tore his family apart. Angela and Dan divorced in 2012, citing irreconcilable grief. Since then, Grimaldi has thrown himself into academia, avoiding the limelight while privately mourning a life of mischances and quiet sorrows. Friends say he still speaks to a photo of his son every morning. Now 79, Grimaldi lives alone in New Jersey, occasionally lecturing at universities. His estate is estimated at $900,000, built from modest acting earnings and his tenured academic career, though it's clear no amount of money ever softened his grief. Edie Falco, who portrayed the morally conflicted and emotionally battered Carmela Soprano, was just 36 when The Sopranos aired in 1999. Her gripping performance as a woman torn between Catholic guilt and material comfort earned her critical acclaim. But Falco's real life has been no less conflicted. Never married, she had a series of intense but brief relationships, most notably with actor Stanley Tucci, whose return to his wife left her devastated. She adopted 2 children, Anderson and Macy, but has admitted to feeling overwhelmed and isolated as a single mother in Hollywood. Falco also battled breast cancer in 2003, a private struggle that profoundly shifted her worldview, leaving her distant from her industry peers. She's publicly spoken about her estranged relationship with her father and years of therapy to manage lifelong insecurities. Though she continued working in television, nothing rivaled The Sopranos in impact. Now 61, Falco lives quietly in upstate New York, focusing on animal rescue and selective indie roles. Her estate is estimated at $3.5 million, but she has confessed that true happiness still feels just beyond her reach. Steven Van Zandt, who portrayed Silvio Dante in The Sopranos, was 48 when he first appeared as Tony Soprano's icy consigliere, a man who masked lethal efficiency behind custom-tailored suits and old-school charm. A veteran of the music world through Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, Van Zandt brought a restrained intensity to the role. After The Sopranos, his acting opportunities never quite equaled his breakout success, and his later projects like Lilyhammer gained cult followings but never reached mainstream acclaim. He married Maureen Santoro in 1982, and though they appeared happy in public, sources close to the couple noted their long periods of estrangement and emotional distance, especially due to his touring lifestyle. They never had children, which he later expressed quiet regret over in his memoir. Van Zandt suffered personal tragedies, including the loss of both parents, a near-fatal car accident in the 90s, and a prolonged struggle with depression after The Sopranos ended. Now 74, he leads a quieter life in New York, occasionally appearing at music events, but mostly staying out of the spotlight. His estimated estate is valued at $10 million, much of it tied to music royalties and real estate, though he has donated significant portions to music education charities. Tony Sirico, who portrayed Paulie, Walnuts, Galtieri, was 57 when he embodied the volatile, silver-templed enforcer whose rigid loyalty to the mob was only rivaled by his deep superstitions and sudden bursts of violence. A former convict-turned-actor, Sirico's real-life background gave Paulie chilling authenticity. After The Sopranos, Sirico found work mostly in voice acting in minor TV roles, but he never again found a character as iconic. He never married, despite several brief romances, and fathered 2 children, Richard and Joanne, from different relationships. He remained emotionally distant from both, something he admitted to regretting in his final years. Sirico struggled with health issues, including dementia, which led to a long and painful decline. He lost many close friends over the years, battled alcohol abuse, and was rumored to have grown paranoid and withdrawn after the show's end. He died on July 8, 2022, at age 79 due to complications from dementia. His estate was estimated at $4 million, largely from residuals and late investments in property, though some was reportedly lost to mismanagement. Lorraine Bracco, who played Dr. Jennifer Melfi, was 44 when she began portraying Tony Soprano's brilliant, composed psychiatrist, a woman constantly walking the fine line between compassion and professional detachment. Bracco gave the character a moral gravitas that often stood in painful contrast to the violence around her. Off-screen, her life was riddled with turmoil. She married French actor Daniel Garrett in the 1980s, with whom she had a daughter, Margot, but the marriage collapsed amid infidelity rumors. Her later, more publicized relationship with actor Harvey Keitel ended in a brutal custody battle that left her emotionally and financially drained. Bracco has spoken openly about battling depression, an eating disorder, and tax issues that nearly bankrupted her. She lost both her parents within a short span and suffered chronic health issues in her 60s. Though she remains active in television, her roles are sporadic, and the emotional toll of her past weighs heavily on her. Now 70, she lives alone in Long Island with her dogs, occasionally mentoring young actors. Her estate is estimated to be around $6 million, though she has downsized significantly and sold her Sicily home due to financial strain. Ida Turturro, who played the conniving and emotionally erratic Janice Soprano, was 37 when she took on the role of Tony's manipulative sister, one who used trauma as currency and buried loyalty under self-interest. Turturro's performance gave Janice layers of complexity, making her simultaneously hated and pitted by fans. Off-screen, her career never flourished beyond The Sopranos, as she struggled to escape the shadow of Janice. She never married and has no children, though she once had a long-term partner, a Broadway set designer, who left her abruptly in 2007, leaving her devastated. Her family life has been troubled. She has publicly spoken about estrangement from certain relatives and enduring cycles of codependence and emotional neglect. Ida has battled chronic illness, including type 2 diabetes and severe arthritis, which led to prolonged periods of work inactivity. She lost 2 close friends to overdose and survived a house fire in 2013 that destroyed many personal belongings. Now 62, Turturro lives quietly in New Jersey, occasionally appearing at fan conventions but largely avoiding the limelight. Her estimated estate is approximately $2 million, and she reportedly lives modestly, having turned to painting and writing in recent years. Dri de Matteo, who portrayed Adriana La Cerva in The Sopranos, was 27 when she embodied the loyal, fashion-loving fiancé of Christopher Moltisanti. Her character's tragic arc, an informant trapped in a life she couldn't escape, mirrored the emotional turbulence in de Matteo's own life. Though she received critical acclaim, her career faltered after the show, with inconsistent roles and several projects cancelled before completion. She was in a long-term relationship with musician Shooter Jennings, with whom she had 2 children, Alabama and Waylon. Their relationship ended bitterly, plagued by infidelity and addiction issues. Struggling as a single mother, she faced financial hardship, even resorting to launching an OnlyFans account in 2023. De Matteo also endured the trauma of losing her New York home during Hurricane Sandy, and later battled chronic health issues. Once valued for her edgy beauty and emotional depth, she has since faded from the spotlight. Now 53, she lives modestly in Los Angeles, often speaking about redemption and survival. Despite the fame of The Sopranos, she remains somewhat estranged from the Hollywood scene. Her estimated estate is around $400,000, a shadow of what it once might have been. Sharon Angela, who played Rosalie April, first appeared on The Sopranos at age 36, portraying the streetwise widow of mobster Jackie April. Her performance captured the strength and bitterness of a woman left behind by violence, clinging to appearances while grieving beneath the surface. Angela's acting career never truly soared after The Sopranos. Despite minor roles in film and television, she struggled with typecasting and long periods of unemployment. She married fellow actor Frank Bastone in 2002, but the relationship disintegrated after only 6 years, marred by emotional distance and financial strain. They had 1 son, Marco, whom she raised mostly on her own. Angela lost her sister to a drug overdose in 2008 and later endured breast cancer treatment in silence, never publicly disclosing her diagnosis until years later. Now 61, She lives in New Jersey with her elderly mother, rarely appearing in public. Her financial situation is modest, with her estate estimated at $300,000. Once known for her sharp tongue on screen, Angela has become a quiet, reclusive figure, reflecting the loneliness of many aging actors left behind by the industry they helped define. Vincent Curatola, who portrayed Johnny Sack, the coldly intelligent and surprisingly sentimental boss of the Lupertazzi family, was 46 when he first graced the Sopranos screen in 1999. His role stood out for its emotional nuance, particularly the raw vulnerability he displayed as his character faced imprisonment and the death of his wife. Off-screen, Curatola's life bore its own heartbreak. A veteran actor before the show, his post-Sopranos career offered sporadic roles but never the same acclaim. He married Patricia Gallagher in 1984, and they remained together for over 3 decades, though their marriage was scarred by distance, infertility, and Patricia's long struggle with Parkinson's disease. Curatola's own health began to decline in his late 60s, and he quietly withdrew from most public appearances after suffering a mild stroke in 2020. The couple had no children, and their household grew somber in later years, marked by medical treatments and quiet solitude. Curatola found comfort in music, occasionally performing with small jazz bands in New Jersey. Now 71, he lives in a modest home in Englewood, his estate valued at approximately $1.5 million. His portrayal of Johnny Sack remains his greatest legacy, both a blessing and a haunting reminder of the career heights he never reached again. Who is your favorite character from The Sopranos? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.